Imagine Pericles arrived at Tyre, welcomed and settled in his own desire. His woeful queen we leave at Ephesus, unto Diana there's the votress. Now to Marina bend your mind, whom our fast-growing scene must find at Tarsus, and by Cleon trained in music, letters, who hath gained of education all the grace which makes high both art and place of general wonder. But alack, the monster envy, off the rack of earned praise, Marina's life seeks to take off by treason's knife. And in this kind our Cleon hath one daughter, and a full-grown wench, even ripe for marriage right. This maid hight Philautoen, and it is said for certain in our story she would ever with Marina be it when they weaved the sided silk, with fingers long, small, white as milk, or when she would with sharp needle wound the cambric, which she made more sound by hurting it, or when to the lute she sung and made the night bird mute, that still records with moan, or when she would with rich and constant pen veil to her mistress Dian, still this Philautoen contends in skill with absolute Marina. So with the dove of Paphos might the crow vie feathers white. Marina gets all praises, which are paid as debts and not as given. This so darks in Philautoen all graceful marks, that Cleon's wife with envy rare a present murderer does prepare, for good Marina, that her daughter might stand peerless by this slaughter. The sooner her vile thoughts to stead, like Cordia our nurse is dead, and cursed Dionysa hath the pregnant instrument of wrath pressed for this blow. The unborn event I do commend to your content. Only I carry winged time, post on the lame feet of my rhyme, which never could I so convey, unless your thoughts went on my way. Dionysa does appear with Leonen, a murderer. Act 4, Scene 1. Tarsus. Enter Dionysa with Leonine.
Thy oath remember, thou hast sworn to do it. 'Tis but a blow which shall never be known. Thou canst not do a thing in the world so soon to yield thee so much profit. Let not conscience, which is but cold and flaming, thy bosom inflame too nicely. Nor let pity, which even women have cast off, melt thee, but be a soldier to thy purpose.
I will do it, but yet she is a goodly creature.
The fitter, then, the gods should have her. Here she comes weeping for her only mistress's death. Thou art resolved?
I am resolved.
No, I will rob Tellus of her weed, to stew thy green with flowers, the yellow blues, the purple violets and marigolds, shall as a carpet hang upon thy grave, while summer days doth last. Ay, me, poor maid! Born in a tempest when my mother died. This world to me is as a lasting storm, whirling me from my friends.
Oh, now, Marina, why do you keep alone? How chance my daughter is not with you? Do not consume your blood with sorrowing. Have you a nurse of me? Lord, how your favors change with this unprofitable woe. Come, give me your flowers. O'er the sea marge, walk with Leonine. The air is quick there, and it pierces and sharpens the stomach. Come, Leonine, take her by the arm. Walk with her.
No, I pray you, I'll not brave you of your servant.
Come, I love the king your father and yourself with more than a foreign heart. We every day expect him here. When he shall come and find our paragons, who all reports thus blasted, he will repent the breath of his great voyage, blame both my lord and me that we have taken no care to your best courses. Go, I pray you, walk and be cheerful once again. Reserve that excellent complexion which did steal the eyes of young and old. Care not for me, I can go home alone.
Well, I will go, but yet I have no desire to it.
Come, I know 'tis good for you. Walk half an hour, Leonine, at the least. Remember what I have said.
I warrant you, madam.
I'll leave you, my sweet lady, for a while. Pray, walk softly, do not heat your blood. What? I must have care of you.
My thanks, sweet madam. Is this wind westerly that blows?
Southwest.
When I was born, the wind was north.
Was so?
My father, as the nurse says, did never fear, but cried, "Good seamen," to the sailors, galling his kingly hands, hailing ropes and clasping to the masts, enduring a sea that almost burst the deck.
When was this?
When I was born, never was waves more wind, more violent, and from the ladder tackle washes off a canvas climber. "Ha!" says one, "won't out!" And with a dropping industry, they skip from stern to stern. The boatswain whistles, and the master calls and trembles their confusion.
Come, say your prayers.
What mean you?
If you require a little space for prayer, I grant it. Pray, be not tedious, for the gods are quick of ear, and I am sworn to do my work with haste.
Why will you kill me?
To satisfy my lady.
Why would she have me killed? Now, as I can remember by my troth, I did never hurt in all my life. I never spake bad word, nor did ill turn to any living creature. Believe me, I never killed a mouse, nor hurt a fly. I trod against a worm against my will, and I wept for it. For have I offended wherein my death might yield her any profit? Or my life imply her any danger?
My commission is not to reason of the deed, but do it.
You will not do it for the world, I hope. You are well favored, and your looks foreshow you have a gentle heart. I saw you lately, when you caught hurt in parting two that fought. Good sooth, it showed well in you. Do so now. Your lady seeks my life, come you between, and save poor me, the weaker.
I am sworn, and will dispatch.
Yar, ho, Helen!
A prize, a prize!
Half part, mates, half part. Come, let's have her aboard suddenly.
Arr.
These roguing thieves serve the great pirate Valdez, and they have seized Marina. Let her go. There's no hope she will return. I'll swear she's dead and thrown into the sea. But I'll see further. Perhaps they will but please themselves upon her, not carry her aboard. If she remain, whom they have ravished must by me be slain.
Act 4, Scene 2, a brothel in Mytilene. Enter Panda, Board and Bolt. Bolt!
Sir?
Search the market narrowly. Mytilene is full of gallons. We lost too much money this mark by being too wenchless.
We were never so much out of creatures. We have but poor 3, and they can do no more than they can do, and they with continual action are even as good as rotten.
Therefore, let's have some fresh ones wherever we pay for them. If there be not a conscience to be used in every trade, we shall never prosper.
Thou sayest true. 'Tis not our bringing up of poor bastards, as I think I have brought up some 11.
Aye, to 11, and brought them down again. But shall I search the market?
What else, man? The stuff we have, a strong wind will blow it to pieces. They are so pitifully sodden.
Thou sayest true. There's too unwholesome a conscience. The poor Transylvanian is dead that lay with the little baggage.
Aye, she quickly pooped him. She made roast meat for worms. But I'll go search the market.
3,000 or 4,000 Czech queens were as pretty as a proportion to live quietly, and so give over.
Why give it over, I pray you? Is it a shame to get when we are old?
Oh, our credit comes not in like the commodity, nor the commodity wages not with the danger. Therefore, if in our youths we pick up some pretty estate, 'twere not amiss to keep our door hatched. Besides, the sore terms we stand upon with the gods will be strong with us for giving over.
Come, other sorts offend as well as we.
As well as we, aye. The better too, we often worse. Neither is our profession any trade, it's no calling. Oh, but here comes Bolt.
Come your ways, my masters. You say she's a virgin? Oh, I think they doubt it not. Master, I have gone through for this piece, you see. If you like her, so. If not, I have lost my earnest.
Bolt, has she any qualities?
She has a good face, speaks well, and has excellent good clothes. There is no further necessity of qualities can make her be refused.
What's her price, Bolt?
I cannot be baited one doit of 1,000 pieces.
Well, follow me, my masters. You shall have your money presently. Wife, take her in. Instruct her what she has to do, that she may not be raw in her entertainment.
But Bolt, take you the marks of her, the color of her hair, complexion, height, her age, with warrant of her virginity, and cry, he that will give most shall have her first. Such a maidenhead were no cheap thing, if men were as they have been. Get this done as I command you.
Performance shall follow.
Black. The Leonine was so slack, so slow. He should have struck, not spoke. Or that these pirates, not enough barbarous, have but overboard thrown me, would seek my mother.
Why lament you, pretty one?
That I am pretty.
Come, the gods have done their parts in you.
I accuse them not.
You are light into my hands, where you are like to live.
More my fault to escape his hands where I was to die.
Aye, and you shall live in pleasure.
No.
Yes, indeed, shall you, and taste gentlemen of all fashions. You shall fare well. You shall have the difference of all complexions. What do you stop your ears?
Are you a woman?
What would you have me be? Am I not a woman?
An honest woman. Or not a woman.
Marry, whip the gosling. I think I should have something to do with you. Come, you're a young, foolish sapling and must be bowed as I would have you.
The gods defend me.
If it please the gods to defend you by men, then men must comfort you, men must feed you, men stir you up. Bolt's returned. Now, sir, hast thou cried her through the market?
I have cried her almost to the number of her hairs. I have drawn her picture with my voice.
And I prithee tell me, what dost thou find the inclination of the people, especially of the younger sort?
Faith, they listened to me as they would have hearkened to their father's testament. There was a Spaniard's mouth watered, and he went to bed to her very description.
We shall have him here tomorrow with his best ruff on.
Tonight. Mistress, do you know the French knight that cowers on the hams?
Who, Monsieur Veroles?
Aye, he offered to cut a caper at the proclamation, but he made a groan at it and swore he would see her tomorrow.
Well, as for him, he brought his disease hither where he does not but repair it. I know he will come into our shadow to scatter his crowns in the sun.
Well, if we had of every nation a traveller, we would lodge them with this sign.
Prithee, you come hither a while. You have fortunes coming upon you. Mark me, you must seem to do that fearfully, which you commit willingly. Despise profit where you have most gain. To weep as you live, as you do makes pity in your lovers. Seldom but that pity begets you a good opinion, and that opinion a mere profit.
I understand you not.
Oh, take her home, mistress, take her home. These blushes of hers must be quenched with some present practice.
Thou sayest true of faith. So they must, for your bride goes to that with shame, which is her way to go with warrant.
Faith, some do and some do not. But mistress, if I have bargained for the joint,
Thou mayest cut a morsel off the spit.
I may so.
Who should deny it? Come, young one, I like the manner of your garments well.
Aye, by my faith, they shall not be changed yet.
Bolt, spend thou that in town. Report what a sojourner we have. You'll lose nothing by custom. When nature framed this piece, she meant thee a good turn. Therefore, say what a paragon she is, and that thou hast the harvest out of thine own report.
I warrant you, mistress, thunder shall not so awake the beds of eels as my giving out her beauty stirs up the lewdly inclined. I'll bring home some tonight.
Come your ways, follow me.
Fires be hot, knives sharp, or waters deep. Untied I still my virgin knot will keep. Diane, aid my purpose.
What have you to do with Diana, pray you? Will you go with us?
Act 4, Scene 3. Tarsus. Enter Cleon and Dionysa.
Why are you foolish? Can it be undone?
Oh, Dionysa, such a piece of slaughter the sun and moon ne'er looked upon.
I think you'll turn a child again.
Were I chief lord of all this spacious world, I'd give it to undo the deed. A lady much less in blood than virtue, yet a princess to equal any single crown of the earth, and the justice to compare? Villain Leonine, whom thou hast poisoned too, if thou hadst drunk to him, in kindness becoming thy face, what canst thou say, thou, when noble Pericles shall demand his child?
That she is dead. Nurses are not the fates. To foster is not ever to preserve. She died at night. I'll say so. Who can cross it unless you play the impious innocent and for an honest tribute cry out, she died by foul play.
Go to! Well, of all the faults beneath the heavens, the gods do like this worst.
Be one of those that thinks that the petty wrens of Tarsus will fly hence and open this to Pericles. I do shame to think of what a noble strain you are and of how coward a spirit.
To such proceeding, whoever but his approbation added, though not his prime consent, he did not flow from honorable courses.
Be it so, then. Yet none does she know but how she came dead, nor none can know, Leonine being gone. She did disdain my child and stood between her and her fortunes. None would look on her, but cast their gazes on Marina's face, whilst ours was blurted at and held a mock and not worth the time of day. It pierced me through, and though you call my course unnatural, you not your child well-loving, yet I find it greets me as an enterprise of kindness performed to your sole daughter.
Heavens forgive it.
And as for Pericles, what should he say? We wept after her hearse, and yet we mourn. Her monument is almost finished, and her epitaphs in glittering golden characters express a general praise to her, and care in us at whose expense 'tis done.
Oh, thou art like the harpy which to betray doth with thine angel's face seize with thine eagle's talons.
You're like one that superstitiously do swear to the gods that winter kills the flies. But yet I know you'll do as I advise.
Act 4, Scene 4. Thus time we waste, and long leagues make short. Sail seizing cockles, have and wish but fought, making to take our imagination from bourne to bourne, region to region. By you being pardoned, we commit no crime. To use one language in each several clime. Where our scenes seem to live, I do beseech you to learn of me, who stand in the gaps to teach you the stages of our story. Pericles is now again thwarting the wayward seas, attended on by many a lord and knight, to see his daughter, all his life's delight. Old Helicanus goes along, behind is left to govern it, you bear in mind, old Aeschines, whom Helicanus late advanced in time to great and high estate. Well-sailing ships and bounteous winds have brought this king to Tarsus. Think his pilot thought. So with his steerage shall your thoughts go on to fetch his daughter home, who first is gone. And Pericles, in sorrow all devoured, with sighs shot through and biggest tears o'ershowered, leaves Tarsus and again embarks. He swears never to wash his face nor cut his hairs. He puts on sackcloth and to sea. He bears a tempest which his mortal vessel tears, and yet he rides it out. Now please you wit, the epitaph is for Marina writ by wicked Dionysa. The fairest, sweetest, and best lies here, who withered in her spring of year. She was of Tyre, the king's daughter, on whom foul death hath made this slaughter. Marina was she called, and at her birth Thetis, being proud, swallowed some part of the earth. Therefore the earth, fearing to be overflowed, hath Thetis birth child on the heavens bestowed. Wherefore she does, and swears she'll never stint, make raging battery upon shores of flint. No visor does become black villainy so well as soft and tender flattery. Let Pericles believe his daughter's dead, and bears his course to be ordered by Lady Fortune, while our scene must play his daughter's woe and heavy well-a-day in her unholy service. Patience then, and think you now, are all in Mytilene. Act 4, Scene 5. Enter two gentlemen.
Did you ever hear the like?
No, nor shall do in such a place as this, she being once gone.
But to have divinity preached there, did you ever dream of such a thing?
No, no. Come, I am for no more bawdy houses. Shall's go hear the Vestals sing?
I'll do anything now that is virtuous, but I am out of the road of rutting forever.
Act 4, Scene 6. A brothel in Mytilene. Enter Bawd, Panda, and Bolt. Well, I had rather than twice the worth of her, she had ne'er come here.
Fie, fie upon her. She's able to freeze the god Priapus and undo a whole generation. We must either get her ravaged or be rid of her. When she should do for clients her fitment and do me the kindness of our profession, she has me her quirks, her reasons, her master reasons, her prayers, her knees, that she would make a Puritan of the devil if he should cheapen a kiss of her.
Faith, I must ravish her, or she'll disfurnish us disfurnish us of all our cavaleria, and make our swearers priests.
Now the pox upon her green sickness for me.
Faith, there's no way to be rid on't but by the way to the pox. Oh, here comes Lysimachus disguised.
We should have both lord and loan, if the peevish baggage would but give way to customers.
How now, how a dozen of virginities?
Now the gods to bless your honor.
I am glad to see your honour in good health.
You may so. 'Tis the better for you that your resorters stand upon sound legs. How now? Wholesome iniquity have you that a man may deal withal and defy the surgeon.
Well, we have one here, sir, if she would, but there never came never like her, like in Mitylene.
Well, if she do the deeds of darkness, thou would say.
Your honor knows what 'tis to say well enough.
Well, call forth, call forth.
For flesh and blood, sir, white and red, you shall see a rose, and she were a rose indeed, if she had but...
What, prithee?
Sir, I can be modest.
That dignifies the renown of a bawd no less than it gives a good report to a number to be chaste.
Here comes that which grows to the stalk, never plucked yet, I can assure you. Is she not a fair creature?
Faith, she would serve after a long voyage at sea. Well, there's for you. Leave us.
I beseech your honor, give me a word, and then I'll have done presently.
I beseech you, do.
First, I would have you note that this is an honorable man.
Desire to find him so, that I may worthily note him.
Next, he is the governor of this country, and a man to whom I am bound.
If he govern the country, you are bound to him indeed. But how honorable he is that I know not.
Pray you, without any virginal fencing, will you use him kindly? He will line your apron with gold.
Are you done?
My lord, she's not paced yet. You must take some pains to work her into your manage. Come, we will leave his honor and her together. Go thy ways.
Now, pretty one, how long have you been at this trade? Why, I cannot name't, but I shall offend.
I cannot be offended with my trade. Please you to name it.
How long have you been of this profession?
Ever since I can remember.
Did you go to it so young? Were you a gamester at 5 or at 7?
Earlier too, sir, if I be one.
Oh, why the house you dwell in proclaims you to be a creature of sail.
Know this house to be a place of such resort, and will come to it. I hear you're of honorable parts, and are the governor of this place.
Why, hath your principal made known unto you who I am?
Who is my principal?
Why, your herb woman, she that sets seeds and roots of shame and iniquity. You have heard something of my power, and so stand aloof for more serious wooing. But I protest to thee, pretty one, my authority shall not see thee, or else look friendly upon thee. Come, bring me to some private place. Come, come.
If you were born to honor, show it now. If put upon you, make the judgment good that thought you were worthy of it.
How's this? How's this? Some more. Be sage.
For me, that am a maid, though must ungentle fortune have placed me in this sty, where, since I came, diseases have been sold dearer than physic. That the gods would set me free from this unhallowed place, though they did change me to the meanest bird that flies in the pure air.
I did not think thou couldst have spoke so well, ne'er dreamt thou couldst. Had I brought hither a corrupted mind, thy speech had altered it. Hold, here's gold for thee. Persevere in that clear way thou goest, and the gods strengthen thee.
Good gods preserve you.
For me, be you thoughten that I came with no ill intent, for to me the very doors and windows savour vilely. Fare thee well. Thou art a piece of virtue, and I doubt not but thy training hath been noble. Hold, here's more gold for thee. A curse upon him, die he like a thief that robs thee of thy goodness. If thou dost hear from me, it shall be for thy good.
I beseech your honour, one piece for me.
Avaunt, thou damned doorkeeper, your house, but for this virgin that doth prop it would sink and overwhelm you. Away!
How's this? We must take another course with you. If your peevish chastity, which is not worth a breakfast in the cheapest country under the cope, shall undo a whole household, let me be gelded like a spaniel. Come your ways.
Whither will you have me?
I must have your maidenhead taken off, or the common hangman shall execute it. Come your way. We'll have no more gentlemen driven away. Come your ways, I say.
Now, what's the matter?
Worse and worse, mistress. She has here spoken holy words to the Lord Lysimachus.
Oh, abominable!
He makes our profession, as it were, to stink afore the face of gods.
Mary, hang her up forever.
The nobleman would have dealt with her like a nobleman, and she sent him away as cold as a snowball, saying his prayers too.
Bull, take her away. Use her at thy pleasure. Crack the glass of her virginity and make the rest malleable.
And if she were a thornier piece of ground than she is, she shall be ploughed.
Hark! Hark, you gods!
She conjures. Away with her. Would she had never come within my doors. Mary, hang you. She's born unto us. Will you not go the way of womankind? Mary, come up, my dish of chastity with rosemary and bays.
Come, mistress, come your way with me.
Whither wilt thou have me?
To take from you the jewel you hold so dear.
Prithee, tell me one thing first.
Come now, your one thing.
What canst thou wish thy enemy to be?
Why, I would wish him to be my master, or rather my mistress.
Neither of those are so bad as thou art, since they do better thee in their command. Thou holds a place for which the painest fiend of hell would not in reputation change. Thou art the damned doorkeeper to every coistrel that comes acquiring for his tib, to the chloric fisting of every rogue. Thy ear is liable. Thy food is such as hath been belched on by infected lungs.
What would you have me do? Go to the wars, would you, where a man may serve 7 years for the loss of a leg and have not enough money in the end to buy him a wooden one?
Do anything but this thou dost. Empty old receptacles or common shores of filth, served by indentured to the common hangman. Any of these ways are yet better than this. For what thou profess, a baboon, could he speak, would own a name too dear, that the gods would deliver me from this place. Here's gold for thee. If thy master would gain by me, proclaim that I can sing, weave, sew, and dance with other virtues which I'll keep from boast, but will undertake all these to teach. I doubt Not but this populous city will yield many scholars.
But can you teach all this you speak of?
Prove that I cannot. Take me home again and prostitute me to the basest groom that doth frequent your house.
Well, I will see what I can do for thee. If I can place thee, I will.
But amongst honest women.
Faith, my acquaintance lies little amongst them. But since my master and mistress hath bought you, there's no going but by their consent. Therefore, I will make them acquainted with your purpose, and I doubt not, but I shall find them tractable enough. Come, I'll do for thee what I can. Come your ways.
Marina thus the brothel scapes and chances into an honest house, our story says. She sings like one immortal, and she dances as goddess-like to her admired lays. Deep clerks she dumbs, and with her kneel composes nature's own shape of bud, bird, branch, or berry, that even her art sisters, the natural roses. Her inkle, silk, twin, and the rubied cherry, that pupils lacks she none of the noble race who pour their bounty on her, and her gain she gives the cursed board. Here we her place, and to her father turn our thoughts again, where we left him on the sea. We there him lost, where, driven before the winds, he is arrived here where his daughter dwells, and on this coast suppose him now at anchor. The city strived God Neptune's annual feast to keep, from whence Lysimachus our Tyrian ship espies, his banners sabled, trimmed with rich expense, and to him in his barge with further highs. In your supposing, once more put your sight, our heavy Pericles. Think this his bark, where what is done in action, more if might, shall be discovered. Please you, sit and hark. Act 5, Scene 1. Pericles' ship off the coast of Mytilene. Enter Helicanus, to him 2 sailors, one from the Tyrian ship and one from Mytilene.
Where is Lord Helicanus? He can resolve you. Oh, here he is. Sir, there is a barge put off from Mytilene, and in it is Lysimachus, the governor, who craves to come aboard. What is your will?
That he have his. Come up, some gentlemen.
Oh, gentlemen, my lord calls.
Gentlemen, there is some worth would come aboard. I pray, greet him fairly.
Sir, this is the man that can in aught you would resolve you.
Hail, Reverend Sir. The gods preserve you.
And you, to outlive the age I am, and die as I would do.
You wish me well. Being on shore, honoring of Neptune's triumphs, seeing this goodly vessel ride before us, I made to it to know of whence you are.
First, what is your place?
I am the governor of this place you lie before.
Sir, our vessel is of Tyre. In it the king, a man who this 3 months hath not spoken to anyone, nor taken sustenance, but to prorogue his grief.
Upon what ground is his distemperature?
'Twould be too tedious to repeat, but the main grief springs from the loss of a beloved daughter and wife.
May we not see him?
You may, but bootless is your sight. He will not speak to any.
Yet let me obtain my wish.
Behold him. This was a goodly person, till the disaster that one mortal night drove him to this.
Sir King, all hail. The gods preserve you. Hail, royal sir.
It is in vain. He will not speak to you.
Sir, we have a maid in Mytilene. I durst wager would win some words of him.
'Tis well bethought. She, questionless, with her sweet harmony and other chosen attractions, would allure and make a battery through his defended ports, which now are midway stopped. She is all happy as the fairest of all, and with her fellow maid is now upon the leafy shelter that abuts against the island's side.
Sure, all effectlessness, yet nothing will omit that bears recovery's name. But since your kindness we have stretched thus far, let us beseech you that for our gold we may provision here, wherein we are not destitute for want, but weary for staleness.
Sir, a courtesy which, if we should deny, the most just God for every graft would send a caterpillar, and so inflict our province. Yet once more let me entreat to know at large the cause of your king's sorrow.
Sir, I will recount it to you, but see, I am prevented.
Oh, here's the lady that I sent for. Welcome, fair one. It's not a goodly presence.
She's a gallant lady.
She's a one that, were I well assured, came of a gentle, kind, and noble stock. I'd wish no better choice, and think me rarely wed. Fair one, all goodness that consists in beauty, expect even here, where is a kingly patient, if that thy prosperous and artificial feet can draw him but to answer thee in aught. Thy sacred physic shall receive such pay as thy desires can wish.
I will use my utmost recovery, provided that not I and my companion maid be suffered to come near him.
Well, come, let us leave her, and the gods make her prosperous.
Amongst the harlots I walk, yet harlots none am I. The rose amongst the thorns doth grow, and is not hurt thereby.
Mark to your music.
No, nor looked on us.
See, she will speak to him.
Hail, sir, my lord, lend ear. I am a maid, my lord, that never before invited eyes, but have been gazed on like a... She speaks, my lord, that may hath endured a grief might equal yours, if both weighed. Though wayward fortune find my state, my derivative from ancestors who stood equivalent with mighty kings, but time hath rooted my parentage, and to the world awkward casualties lead to servitude. Yes, but there's something grows upon my cheek and whispers, "Here, go not till he speak."
My fortune's parentage, good parentage to equal mine. Was it not thus? What say you?
I say, my lord, if you did know parentage, you would not do me violence.
I do think so. Pray you turn your eyes upon me. You're like something that... What countrywoman? Here of these shores?
No, nor of any shore. Yet I was mortally brought forth, and am no other than I appear.
I am great with woe, and shall deliver weeping. My dearest wife was like this maid, and such a one my daughter might have been. My queen's square brows, her stature to an inch, as wand-like straight, as silver-voiced, her eyes as jewel-like, and cased as richly. In pace another Juno, who starves the ears she feeds and makes them hungry the more she gives them speech. Where do you live?
Where I am but a stranger. The deck you may discern the place.
Where were you bred, and how achieved you these endowments which make more rich to owe?
If I shall tell my history, seem like lies disdained in the reporting.
Prithee, speak. Falseness cannot come from thee, for thou lookest modest as justice. and thou seemest a palace for the crowned truth to dwell in. I will believe thee, and make my senses credit thy relation to point that seems impossible, for thou lookest like one I loved, indeed. What were thy friends? Didst thou not say when I did push thee back, which was when I perceived thee, that thou camest from good descending?
Indeed I did.
Report thy parentage. I think thou saidst thou hadst been tossed from wrong to injury, and that thou thoughtst thy griefs might equal mine if both were open.
Some such thing I said, and said no more what my thoughts did warrant me was likely.
Tell thy story. If thine considered prove the 1,000th part of my endurance, thou art a man, and I have suffered like a girl. Yet thou dost look like patience gazing on kings' graves and smiling extremity out of act. What were thy friends? How lost thou them? Thy name, most kind virgin, recount, I do beseech thee. Come, sit by me. Oh, I am mocked, and thou by some insensate god sent hither to make the world to laugh at me.
Pity, good sir, I'll cease.
Nay, nay, I'll be patient. Thou little know'st how thou dost startled me to call thyself Marina.
The name was given me by one that had some power, my father, and a king.
How? A king's daughter? And called Marina?
Believe me, but not to be a trouble of your people, will end there.
But are you flesh and blood? Have you a working pulse and are no fairy motion? Well, speak on. Where were you born, and wherefore called Marina?
Called Marina, for I was born
At sea? What mother?
My mother was the daughter of a king, who died the minute I was born. As my good nurse, Lycordia hath oft heard weeping.
Oh, stop there a little. This is the rarest dream that e'er dull sleep did mock sad fools withal. This cannot be my daughter buried. Well, where were you bred? I'll hear you more, to the bottom of your story, and never interrupt you.
Scorn. Believe me, I did give over.
I will believe you by the syllable of what you shall deliver. Yet give me leave. How came you in these parts? Where were you bred?
The king, my father, did in Tyre sleep, till cruel Cleon, with his wicked wife, did seek to, and having wooed a villain to attempt it, who having drowned, a crew of pirates came and rescued me, brought me to Mytilene. Good sir, you have me. Why do you weep? It may be you think I'm an imposter? No, good faith. The daughter to King Pericles. Pericles be.
Ho, Helicanus!
Calls my lord.
Thou art a grave and noble counselor, most wise in general. Tell me, if thou canst, what this maid is, or what is like to be, that thus hath made me weep.
I know not, but there's the regent, sir, of Mytilene, speaks nobly of her.
She never would tell her parentage. Being demanded that, she would sit still and weep.
Oh, Helicanus, strike me, honored sir, give me a gash, put me to present pain. Let this great sea of joys rushing upon me o'erbear the shores of my mortality and drown me with their sweetness. Oh, come hither, thou that begetst him that did thee beget. Thou that wast born at sea, buried at Tarsus, and found at sea again. Oh, Helicanus, down on thy knees, thank the holy gods, as loud as thunder threatened us. This is Marina. What was thy mother's name? Tell me but that, for truth can never be confirmed enough, though doubts did ever sleep.
Sir, I pray, what is your title?
I am Pericles of Tyre. But tell me now my drowned queen's name, as in the rest you said thou hast been godlike perfect, the heir of kingdoms, and another life to Pericles thy father.
Is it no more to be your daughter than to say my mother's name? Thyasa? Thyasa was the end the minute I began.
Now, blessing on thee, rise, thou'rt my child. Give me fresh garments. Mine own Helicanus, she is not dead at Tarsus, as she should have been, by savage Cleon. She shall tell thee all, when thou shalt kneel, and justify in knowledge she is thy very princess. Who is this?
Sir, 'tis the governor of Mytilene, who, hearing of your melancholy state, did come to see you.
I embrace you. Give me my robes. I am wild in my beholding. Oh, heavens, bless my girl. But hark, what music? Tell Helicanus, my Marina, tell him o'er point by point, for yet he seems to doubt how sure you are my daughter. But what music?
My lord, I hear none.
None? The music of the spheres. List, my Marina.
It is not good to cross him. Give him way.
Rarest sounds. Do you not hear?
Music, my lord, I hear.
Most heavenly music. It nips me unto listening, and thick slumber hangs upon my eyes. Let me rest.
A pillow for his head. So, leave him all. Well, my companion friends, if this but answer to my just belief, I'll well remember you.
My temple stands at Ephesus, hither thither, and do upon my altar sacrifice there when my maiden priests are met together. Before the people all, reveal how thou at sea didst lose thy wife, to mourn thy crosses with thy daughter's call, and give them repetition to the life. Or perform my bidding, or thou livest in woe, do it, and happy, by my silver bow. Awake, and tell thy dream.
Celestial Diane, goddess Argentine, I will obey thee. Helicanus!
Sir,
My purpose was for Tarsus, there to strike the inhospitable Cleon. But I am for other service first. Toward Ephesus, turn our blown sails. Eftsoons I'll tell thee why. Shall we refresh us, sir, upon your shore, and give you gold for such provision as our intents will need?
Sir, with all my heart. And when you come ashore, I have another suit.
You shall prevail were it to woo my daughter, for it seems you have been noble towards her.
Sir, lend me your arm.
Come, my Marina.
Act 5, Scene 2. Now our sands are almost run, more a little and then dumb. This my last boon give me, for such kindness must relieve me, that you aptly will suppose what pageantry, what feasts, what shows, what minstrelsy and pretty din the regent made in Mytilene to greet the king. So he thrived that he is promised to be wived to fair Marina, but in no wise till he had done his sacrifice as Dian bade. Whereto, being bound the interim, pray you all confound. In feathered briefness sails are filled, and wishes fall out as they're willed. At Ephesus, the temple see our king and all his company. That he can hither come so soon is by your fancies thankful doom. Act 5, Scene 3. Diana's temple, Ephesus. Enter Cerimon and Diana's priestesses, including Thaisa. At another door enter Pericles, Marina, Helicanus, Lysimachus, and attendants.
Hail, Diane! To perform thy just command, I here confess myself the king of Tyre, who, frighted from my country, did wed at Pentapolis the fair Thaisa. At sea in childbed died she, but brought forth a maid child called Marina, whom, O goddess, wears yet thy silver livery. She at Tarsus was nursed with Cleon, who at 14 years he sought to murder. But her better stars brought her to Mytilene, against whose shore riding, her fortunes brought the maid aboard us, where, by her own most clear remembrance, she made known herself my daughter.
Voice and favor. You are? You are! Oh, royal Pericles!
What means the nun? She dies! Help, gentlemen!
Noble sir, if you have told Diana's altar true, this is your wife.
Reverend Appearer, no. I threw her overboard with these very arms.
Upon this coast, I warrant you?
'Tis most certain.
Look to the lady. Oh, she's but overjoyed. Early one blustering morn, this lady was thrown upon this shore. I oped the coffin, found there rich jewels, recovered her, and placed her here in Diana's temple.
May we see them?
Great sir, they shall be brought you to my house, whether I invite you. Look, Thaisa is recovered.
Oh, let me look. If he be none of mine, my sanctity will to my sense spend no licentious ear, but curb it, spite of seeing. Oh, my lord, are you not Pericles? Like him you spake, like him you are. Did you not name a tempest, a birth and death?
The voice of dead Thaisa.
That Thaisa am I, supposed dead and drowned.
Immortal Diane!
Now I know you better. When we with tears parted Pentapolis, the king, my father, gave you such a ring.
This no more, you gods. Your present kindness makes my past miseries sports. You shall do well that on the touching of her lips I may melt and no more be seen. Oh, come, be buried a second time within these arms.
My heart leaps be gone into my mother's bosom.
Look who kneels here, flesh of thy flesh, Thaisa, thy burden at the sea, and called Marina, for she was yielded there.
Blessed and mine own.
Hail, madam, and my queen.
I know you not.
You have heard me say, when I did fly from Tyre, I left behind an ancient substitute. Can you remember what I called the man? I have named him oft.
'Twas Helicanus then.
Still confirmation. Embrace him, dear Thaisa. This is he. Now do I long to hear how you were found, how possibly preserved, and who to thank besides the gods for this great miracle.
Lord Cerimon, my lord, this man, through whom the gods have shown their power, that can, from first to last, resolve you.
Reverend sir, the gods can have no mortal officer more like a god than you. Will you deliver how this dead queen relives?
I will, my lord. Beseech you, first go with me to my house, where shall be shown you all was found with her, how she came placed here in the temple, no needful thing omitted.
Pure Diane, I bless thee for thy vision, and will offer night oblations to thee. Thaisa, this prince, the fair betrothed of your daughter, shall marry her at Pentapolis. And now this ornament makes me look dismal, will I clip to form, and what this 14 years no razor touched, to grace thy marriage day, I'll beautify.
Lord Cerimon hath letters of good credit. Sir, my father's dead.
Heavens make a star of him. Yet there, my queen, we'll celebrate their nuptials, and ourselves will in that kingdom spend our following days. Our son and daughter shall in Tyre reign. Lord Cerimon, we do our longing stay to hear the rest untold. Sir leads the way.
The epilogue. In Antiochus and his daughter, you have heard of monstrous lusts that due and just reward. In Pericles, his queen and daughter seen, although assailed with fortune fierce and keen, virtue preserved from fell destruction's blast, led on by heaven and crowned with joy at last. In Helicanus, may you well descry a figure of truth, of faith, of loyalty. In Reverend Cerimon, there well appears the worth that learned charity eye wears. For wicked Cleon and his wife, when fame had spread his cursed deed to the honored name of Pericles, to rage the city turn. Let him and his they in his palace burn. The gods of murder seemed so content to punish, although not done, but meant. So on your patience evermore attending, new joy wait on you. Here, our play has ended.
Thank you for tuning in for Pericles. We hope that you enjoyed the reading today. We'd like to bring our players back in. Jason Rennie, Martin Hillier, Christopher Carbo, Taylor Marr, Sasha Venn, Megan Wells, Ron Dorn, Cameron Prince, Chris Klein, Jessica Dahlgren, Jen O'Brien, and I'm Mary Carrick. Thank you for tuning in for Shakespeare 2020 LA. Next up, Cymbeline.